where we will be engaging with various hip hop artists, poets, and entrepreneurs. So come listen and hang out with Mona Bode and Uptown with Mona. Hey guys, what is going on? First of all, let me just say thank you all for all the well wishes. You know, your girl was out of it, down for the count. I was fucked up for a hot moment, but your girl is back on track, and I'm excited because I'm really excited. Let me tell you something. When I was a little girl, when I was a young girl, I had a thing for DJs, always had a thing for DJs. And I'm so excited to interview this DJ because he is the motherfucking man as far as I am concerned. And the eyes was always been a killer. The eyes was a killer, which had got me in the first. I was like, oh, who is this guy? And I just want to meet him. But you know, we was all young at the time, you know. But listen, I'm not gonna hold up the show. Wait, first of all, before we start, if you're interested in adding in any if you want to donate to Uptown with Mona, the my what you call them link is over here somewhere. Tamika, I don't see it, but anyway, my Cash App link is Miss Bode 125 MSBODE. Number is 125. You can donate whatever your heart desires. We do this every Monday at 7 p.m. We're always a little bit late, but we're here. All right. So let me bring in my favorite DJ. I got Whodini, and you can bring him in. Who was there? Was there somebody else in there?
It might be somebody else.
Who's
We'll
Bo?
see. Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Is he coming in? Is he one of the part of the crew?
Yeah, you can let him in.
He come in the crew. He come in. He can come in. Bo Diddley, bring him in. Hey, Bo.
Hey, how are you?
How you feeling, sweetie pie?
I feel great. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. I'm feeling so much better. Listen, I got to talk to this cutie pie over here, Grandmaster Dee, because this dude here, let me tell you, I swear when I was young, I wanted to be a DJ. And then I got into hip hop. You know, I got into the first of all, no, I had to be about 14. And that's when 14 was my first favorite group. I must admit, I have to admit, my first favorite group was the Treacherous Three. I'm sorry. I had a thing for the Treacherous Three. But when I saw you, I said, wait a minute. Who is this guy with them pretty light eye, light skinned dude with the pretty brown, not with the pretty green eyes? It's like, oh my God. And then you played your DJ skills was always on point. So yeah. So
Thank you.
I always like to ask my guests first, how was your day?
My day is beautiful, man. Any
Yeah.
day above ground is love.
How
Beautiful.
about that? How about that? Yeah, and I wanted to say, can send my condolences to oh God, what's his name that passed away?
Ecstasy.
Yeah, Ecstasy that passed away. I didn't know
Yeah.
I found out I didn't really know he had passed away up until like recently when I started doing my research for you, and I was like, wow, that's kind of screwed. That's kind of messed up, you know.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Right. So here we go. Now, so your day, you had a great day. How's the family? Family cool? Everybody
Family
good
good.
money?
Everybody good. Yep. My
That's
wife
good.
good.
That's good.
Everybody good.
That's cool. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So let's get to
Mhm.
these questions because I know you have some game going on or something that you said earlier. So did you say you was watching the games? You
I'm
said
getting
the
ready to
game is
watch the
coming on?
Knicks. You see what I'm wearing, right?
I see. I said,
Let's
all
go,
right,
New
let's get
York.
the right. Go New York. Always New York, New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. So here we go. Where's them questions at? Let me get that first. Okay, first question. Okay, can you tell us about your early exposure to hip hop?
Oh man. My early exposure to hip hop, 1977, going
Mm-hmm.
to a high school called Julia Richmond. Now,
Mm-hmm.
mind me, I was going to school in Brooklyn, my junior high school at first, IS
Mm-hmm.
246 Wall Whitman, and we were transitioning from Brooklyn to a place called Roosevelt Island, and
Right.
that was in 1977. So once I was leaving that not public school, but junior high school, I was
Mhm.
transmitting to high school. So I went to a
Right.
school called Julia Richmond High School in
Right.
Manhattan.
Right.
So my freshman year, my dream was I was good in basketball. So my dream was
Okay.
to become an NBA player. And
Mhm.
freshman year in Julia Richmond, I started hearing hip hop, what they called rap back then. And
Mhm.
we would have when your lunch period comes, we would go into a place called the Spark Room, and they
Mhm.
would be in there playing backgammon, pity pack, and all that blackjack, and they had a radio in there, and at that time people was carrying a big box, and I heard rap. And matter of
Mhm.
fact, it was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They were playing tapes. They had
Mhm.
all kind of tapes. They even had
Mhm.
Africa Bambaataa. They had the
Mhm.
Grandmaster Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore. And I happened to
Mhm.
hear, yes, yes, y'all. You don't stop. We like our sound, loud, loud, and clear, clear, clear. Boom, 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 boom. And I said, yo, what is
Uh-huh.
that? What is that? My classmate, he was a B-boy named Ski
Mhm.
Jump. He was a
Mhm.
b-boy, and he was a breakdancer just as well as a rapper. And he said that's rap and all that. So next thing you know, I started hearing it every other day, and I said, "Yo, I want to be down with this." So at that
Mhm.
time, I was learning from him, so I started to be a rapper before I was a
Uh-huh.
DJ.
No
But then,
kidding.
yeah, and then later on, the next year came in, and I ran into Master Don. May he
Mhm.
rest in peace, from the Deaf
Mhm.
Committee.
Okay.
And Ray Vaughn, I believe Ray Vaughn and Johnny Waugh went to my school too. But Master Don was the one that said, D, yeah, you like rap. I'm gonna bring you to my crib and I'll teach you how to DJ, whatever. Man, and
Mhm.
after school I would go from Julie Richmond to his house and practice on his turntables, and that's how I learned about scratching. So I give the credit
Wow.
to Master Don and another
Mhm.
brother who passed away who showed me the ropes right after Master Don was a guy
Mhm.
called WizKid.
I heard of him.
WizKid made that play that
I heard
beat.
of
Run the
Wizkid.
play it for me. Yeah, that was him.
Mhm.
Another great DJ, and you don't hear people mention.
It's a
But
lot of great DJs that never got the accolades that they should get now or
yes.
should have gotten then, you know.
hmm And yes, and it's a lot of MCs that don't get the credit neither. You know,
Absolutely.
just as I look at my career for so many years and what we
Mhm.
done for rap, we
Yeah.
was we were the architect with the R&B
Right.
and clean music, but R&B.
Yes.
But not only that, we were the first with dancers. We was the first
Yes.
with choruses, and
Mhm.
and we made danceable record.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about us much, and that's why I feel by me going on podcasts and like coming on your show to help
Thank you. And I
spread the
appreciate
word.
that. Thank you. Thank you. And
Yes,
I really
to help
appreciate
spread
that.
the
Thank you
word.
so much.
hmm
Mhm. So here we go. Next question. What DJs or artists initially inspired you to pursue turntablism?
Oh man, like I said,
Uh-huh.
I heard the Grandmaster Flash back then.
Right.
I give him credit, and I Grand Wizard Theodore, Charlie Chase,
Mm.
and my
Charlie's a friend of mine. I'm trying to get him to
yeah,
come on.
yeah, he's a
Yeah, I'm
good
trying to
friend of
get him to
mine
come
too.
on.
Yeah, Charlie
Mm-hmm.
Chase, and I think about Breakout in the Baron
Mm-hmm.
and Wizkid, and who else I could say? Oh yeah, Macedon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the main one that showed me. But everywhere you went, you heard the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and Grand Wizard
Mm-hmm.
Theodore and the Fantastic Romantic Five.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing I like to say, the ones that didn't get credit as much, even though today I
Yeah.
give the credit to Mike and Dave.
Okay.
They were from Harlem. They was all the big promoters for all those parties and responsible for the group The Crash Crew and
Mm-hmm.
and the Boogie Boys. You
Crash
know,
Crew was the shit too.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You
And the Boogie
walking down
Boys.
the
Yep.
street with your box
And
in
that's
your
my
hand.
favorite line. That is my favorite part
And
of
they
the
call him
fucking
G
song.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, those
Oh
brothers was
my
ahead of their
God.
time too, and they had the great routines. Just like I don't take nothing from the Funky Four Plus One More,
Right.
and they were great at what they did. And Grandmaster
Right.
Flash, the Furious Five, and
Right.
Grand Wizard Theodore and them. And I got a chance to open up at one time. I had the two female rappers,
Hmm.
Dimple D and Giggles G. We
Hmm.
opened up for the battle with the Cold Crush and the Fantastic Five in Harlem World.
Wow. What year was
Yeah.
that? What year was
That
that?
had to be 81, 82,
I was in high
80, 81,
school.
80. I think 79 or 80, somewhere
If
around
it
there.
was 79, I was in junior high school. I went to high school in 80, went to my
Mhm.
first jam and in Stevenson High School. They had
Oh, in
used
the
to have
Bronx.
jams in the Bronx. 'Cause I grew up in the South Bronx. Most of the time, every Friday they would have a jam at Kelly's Furniture up on the second floor.
Oh, wow.
Every Friday they had a jam, and you would have the B boys and Mr. Wiggles and all of them
Yeah,
cats
Mr.
used to be out there. I know Wiggles. Me and Wiggles. I know his whole family. We all went to school together. You
Uh-huh.
know, and
Wow.
at that time I loved hip hop. I was like, what the fuck is this dance shit you doing? What the hell is this shit you doing? What are you doing? What is that? It looks weird.
Yeah.
And then our parents saying, this is not going to last. It's just a fad. This music ain't going
Eh,
to last.
Everybody said that.
50
Everybody said
years later, here we are. Millie,
and
hi,
then
Millie. These are some people who come in here and they wanted to come in and say hi too. And I
okay,
have a couple questions for you also.
sure. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, so from one of the audience members. If y'all have any questions, please send us the questions and he'll answer anything you want to know. All right. All right. Number three. How did you connect with Jalil and Ecstasy and form Whodini?
Well, it started through Mr. Magic,
Mm-hmm.
WHBI, the first DJ to put rap on radio
Right.
and spread the word on WHBI, and then he went to WBLS later on.
Mm-hmm.
Jalil and X were working with Mr. Magic, and
Okay.
Jalil used to answer the phones and X, and they wound up doing a demo for Mr. Magic, and Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Magic would play that every week that he came on,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would call up there every week, and he used to call me a super listener,
Mm-hmm.
and they would always say your name. That's what I loved about it, because you're on the
Yep.
radio and everybody
Yep.
get to
That's
hear
right.
your shout out. That was
Yep.
big time when they heard you on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get my friends gathered around, and say their name and my name, and that would get everybody excited. So
Uh-huh.
later on down the line, Mr. Magic said, "Yeah, I got a big show." They had a show coming up in the Harmony with Sugar Hill record label with all their
Mm-hmm.
artists, and it was in the
Mm-hmm.
Harmony on 142nd and near Lennox or near the FDR Drive. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, would you help me out promoting?" And I said, "Sure." So I was going over there to pick up some posters and flyers, and I
Mm-hmm.
ran into Jalil, and we started talking. I told him who I was, and he said, "Man, we looking for a DJ. We putting the group together." He said, "Well, maybe we can connect." I said, "Yeah." We exchanged numbers. We kept in touch, and next thing you know, they came by my house, and I started DJing for them, and I showed them that I had skills, and they said, "Yo, we're gonna put you down with us," and then it went from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay,
Mhm.
so Roy Anthony is asking, are there any books or autobiographies in the making?
Oh yes, I got a call the other day. They want to do something big, and
Got to
it's so big.
keep me in the
It
loop. Just keep
yes, I
me in the
will
loop.
keep you in the loop. It's so
Keep me in
big,
the
I
loop.
don't want to even jinx it yet. I don't
So
want to leak it yet.
right, right.
And you know what? I'm gonna give you the first chance to be on site when we do it.
I would definitely have. Plus, I'm also a photographer, so I could do a little short. I could do
Yes,
a interview.
when
I
we
could
putting
do
it
take
together.
pictures.
Yes,
Absolutely. Thank you. Make sure you keep me
yeah,
posted. I'm down.
yeah,
Whenever you're ready, I'm
yes.
down.
Okay.
Yay, Mona. All right, so here we go. What are the creative? What was the creative spark that led you to your unique sound?
We give the credit to Larry Smith.
Okay.
Larry Smith passed away. May he rest in peace.
Mhm.
Great brother. Make put my hand up to him. Great brother. He started producing Run DMC. He
Mhm.
did Curtis Blow. He did the Fat
Mhm.
Boys. He did
Mhm.
Confunction, and he did
Mhm.
Whodini. And what was great about that was, a lot of artists back then was recording here in New York.
Right.
But Whodini, we started with a small record label called Jive Records, but it was
Mhm.
distribution through Arista.
Right.
Excuse me. And by going to record, we didn't record in the States. We
Right.
recorded in London.
No
So
kidding.
that, yes, so that what the difference was. Billy Ocean was on the same label with us, and Billy Ocean would record right next door to us. So
Wow.
the difference is you hear how our music sound. A lot of rappers
Mhm.
back in the day sound like they was making music out of the basement. But
Right.
when you heard ours, it was nice and clean, and it still
Mhm.
sound the same today. And when
Mhm.
you hear that
Mhm.
dun 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 dun,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
we was using the technology that wasn't even out here in the States.
Wow.
So, and that's what made us different. And we came with our own sound. We came
Yes.
with original music. It was no
Yes.
samples. So
Yes.
we was the type of group, like you was mentioning that earlier, how people felt about rap. We was the type of
Yeah.
group your mother and father said, I don't like rap, but I love Whodini because we
Wow.
gave you a message.
Mhm.
Friends, how many of us have
Friends.
them? One
Love
love,
Friends.
the freaks
One
come
Love
out
was
at
my
night.
favorite.
Oh
One
my
Love was my
God.
favorite.
And
Yep. Yep.
I like I always took my hat, I give Jalil all the credit for the great writing he did. He
Mm.
was an incredible writer and still is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. I love
And
it.
Larry
Yes,
had
man.
those pieces. Now, mind me, Larry Smith produced Run
Mhm.
DMC. He made them sound rockish. He made
Okay.
Houdini sound grown and sexy with the R&B feel. He made the Fat
Mhm.
Boys sound like them. He made all of us sound different. That's what you
Right.
call a real producer.
Wow. That's dope. I need a producer like that. All right, number five. Okay, Houdini was one of the first rap groups to blend hip hop with R&B. Exactly what you said. Was this a conscious decision or did it evolve organically?
We really felt, and Jalil felt too, we
Mm-hmm.
wanted the R&B feel. We wanted to be grown and sexy. We wanted to be sharp. We wanted to dress well. We wanted to
Mm-hmm.
carry the torch like an adult.
Right.
We wanted to identify really to the party people.
Mm-hmm.
That was old enough to get in the club or whatever. But our records was family friendly, and
Right.
that's what made our name a household name.
I agree with that. Absolutely. Because the music didn't have cursing, wasn't
Yes,
talking about sex. It was
yes,
just talking about love and peace and especially which one I like. One Love.
yes.
Love it.
One love. Classic,
Love
all
that
time
track.
classic. And the other
Love
thing
that track.
I can say too was we had some of the best videos, and at
Mm-hmm.
that time none of the groups wasn't having videos. They
Right.
didn't have no budget, but we did, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
made us stand out.
Wow. Huh. Okay. Oh man, I would love to sit here and ask a million questions. Everybody wants to talk to you, but I don't know. I have a question here from it's got my homeboy Dre, and
Hmm.
he wanted to know what's the question? Hold on, let me find the question. It's right here. He wants to know whose idea or what made you rap on Funky Beat, and did you write that verse yourself? And how did that change your stock or fame in the group and
Well,
with your fans?
okay, it's a funny story. At that time, you know, Jalil to me, he was always on pins and needles back then,
Mm,
and the way he writes and how he does things. So, like I told you earlier, I was a rapper before I was a DJ.
mm,
So Jam Master Jay was out with Jam Master Jay, Jam Master Jay. So I said, Larry, I need a hip hop record, and you did Jam Master Jay one, but I need a Grandmaster D record. So he
mm,
said, he hesitated. He said, all right, if we gonna do it, we got to do it before Jalo and X come in the studio.
mm,
And they was at the room at the house in London. I got on, and I said, Larry, All right. He said, matter of fact, he looked at me because he's still working on another track. He said,
Uh-huh.
Drew, you put the beat down and I'll take it from there.
Right.
So I went, I had a 909 and I put the boom, gat, boom. And I entered it and I left it just like that. Same tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry came in and said, all right. And went to the store. I was kind of homesick. So I went and got me a 6 pack of Heinekens. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't know the story. So I come
Mm-hmm.
back, started drinking them Heinekens. And my ex brother in law at the time said, yo, Drew, y'all got to come back with something funky. The beat got to be funky. So that sat in my head. And when that beat was dropping, I kept hearing it going boom, cat, boom, cat. I said, funky beat. And I went up in there, funky beat, funky beat. And then I noticed all the other DJs that was on records with their group, they
Uh-huh.
would have 9 different tracks scratching at one time when you hear them do it live.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear it on the record, sound like so many scratches coming in at one time. So I
Right.
wanted to make it plain and simple. So I
Right.
took um, 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 cause I know when I go live, I can go I made it plain and simple.
Right,
And
right.
once that came in there, next thing you know, I had flew back to New York. And Larry Smith called me right away. He's like, yo, Drew, you ain't gonna believe this. You ain't believe. I said, what happened, Larry? And he said, yo, when you hear this, he said, yo, you're gonna lose it. Any record that comes on before it or after, it's gonna have to be louder than that. And he
Yeah.
came with the dun 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 dun, and that was it. So then that's when I thought about, all right, when I was getting ready to rhyme, I said, well, what did I do last year? I said last year I was rocking Good Times. Remember I was
Mm-hmm.
cutting that record of Good Times. So last Fresh Fest I was rocking Good Times, and this Fresh Fest I'm busting out rhymes. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
on the set, take total control. I rock your mind, your feet, your body, your soul. And other DJs may stop and stare, but when I'm on the set, I show no fear. I rock the beat because it is fresh, and the other DJs know that I am deaf, 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 and that was it. And X
Mm-hmm.
coming so incredible. Now, the point we're trying to make is simple. On the turntable, he's quick and nimble. Since here, we're going to prove our point. Now that Whodini's inside the joint. That was it.
Oh man, to be the fly on the wall for that, to see that happen live, man, that's dope. That is so
Yeah.
dope. God bless him. All
Mhm.
right, number six, Houdini's live shows were known for the energy and incorporating breakdancing. Can you
Yes.
share a story from a particular memorable performance?
Mm, it could be, let me see, Nassau Coliseum. The,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the big moments.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Square Garden for sure, and the Apollo.
Wow.
And you got to look at it. Houdini started with dancers. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
had dancers. We were the first rap group with dancers. Nobody had dancers at that time. So
Hmm.
we opened the doors for dancers. We
Right.
had the dancers. We had the R&B feel. We had the
And
rappers
the
and
and
the
the
DJ.
videos and the music
Yes.
videos
Yes, the videos,
that
man.
looked
Oh my God.
polished, and the videos that looked polished, because back in I don't know when they started with the videos. I forgot which
Yeah, the
show
first
on
video we did
MTV.
was Magic Wand, but that
Uh-huh.
that one love video took us out of here because
That
it was
One
so
Love
real.
video is so
And
dope.
oh my, we was in that fly apartment. Not only
Uh-huh.
that, then I get into an argument with the young lady, and I walk out and jump in the Benz, the convertible Benz, and they talking about Jay-Z started that Yankee hat. I wore that Yankee hat in that video.
Think
Yeah, but
about
it's
Jay
all
Z.
love. But that was we was ahead of our time. But I think that's what opened the doors to sell a lot of records because
Right.
we had videos to go with it, and that's what got your face out there and got you known. And we owe a lot to BET, and we got to
Right.
give credit to Right On Magazine, Cynthia Horner for really blessing us and giving us the front cover of the magazine.
Wow. Wow, that's dope. Very
Hmm.
dope. All right, number seven. In Houdini, the DJ played the more. Wait, hold on. Let me read this again. In Houdini, the DJ played a more prominent role than in many rap groups. How did you see your role as Grandmaster D involving within the group?
Oh my God, it was a blessing. The
Mm-hmm.
blessing was Jalil X giving me that spotlight to
Yes.
really step from behind the turntables. And
Yes.
at that time, if you was a DJ, you just played the record and that was it.
Mhm.
They didn't talk
Mhm.
about you.
Right.
So at that time, like, even in our songs, they didn't talk much about issues about the whole group. Jalil didn't like writing about talking about really much as the group, but he gave me my spotlight when he wrote Grandmaster D, Get Funky While You Got Him. Boom,
Mhm.
boom, and adding that. But no other DJ had came from behind them turntables. So I was the first to start rapping to come from behind the turntables.
How about that?
Yeah, I
How
know
about
DJ Hollywood, was doing it
Mhm.
back then, but as far as a rap group, I was the first to come out to do it.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. So what was your experience working with Russell Simmons as your manager?
Oh, I'll give Russell a lot of credit. I mean, he saw a vision, and that
Mhm.
vision was to take hip hop to the next level, which he
Right.
did. And at that time, when we was under that umbrella of management, we were at 1133 Broadway. It was a little small office. Heidi
Mhm.
Smith, you got to give her credit. She worked timeless nights, making sure everybody made their flights and made sure everybody did their interviews. And Jimmy Spicer, may he rest in peace, he was there. So can you imagine Allison Williams, Whodini, Orange Juice Jones? Everybody
Right.
had the same manager. Curtis Blow, Run DMC, Davey DMX. It was so many people under that Dana Dane under that umbrella, and you had to wind up signing with them, or you wasn't going to wind up getting those shows. So
Right.
when people search for groups to do shows in their club, they would call Russ Productions, and
Right.
we had the biggest clientele, and we stayed on the road, and that's what helped put together the first rap tour was the Fresh Fest. And Ricky Walker was out of Atlanta, Georgia. He got with Russell, and they put this tour together, and that's what took rap around the country.
Right. Dope.
Hmm.
That's dope. Okay, number 9. Did you prefer the creative process in the studio or the energy of live performances?
Oh my God, studio was timeless,
Mhm.
but being in the studio was a lot of work. And what I loved about it was being out there. I did the Back in Black album with them. The other two they did without me because at that time I was in the States and I had just got married and all that, so I didn't go then. But being in that studio, I mean, Larry hands in, hands on. He was so
Mhm.
real and so creative, passionate about music. And then with us and Pete and Nigel from out of London with their creativity together made it a match because they had that European feel and we
Right.
had that, the up New York feel, but we put it together. But to me, being on stage is nothing like it. Now,
Yes.
I remember our first show we ever did was Midnight. No, it was matter of fact, it was Africa Bambaataa and
Mhm.
GQ. We was in
Mhm.
in
And
Ohio.
GQ. GQ.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, we was in Ohio, and that was my first show with the group. So I peeked out the curtain and saw them people. I got a little nervous a little bit, but from that day on, you couldn't stop me from running on that stage.
Nervous? Not you
Yeah,
nervous.
yeah, I was a little nervous because at that time we didn't have these computers and using these softwares, like
Mhm.
Serato and everything. We were
Right.
live. We were playing
Everything.
turntables live,
Yes.
hoping this
Yes.
record didn't jump or
Or
scratch.
scratch.
I
Yeah.
remember one time the record scratched on me. I stopped the show and he looked at me. I said, "Push." I crashed it on stage and said, "Let's start this over." Zugga zugga boo, gack, boo, and they went crazy.
That's dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's, I mean, stuff like that, these new children would never understand.
no, they
You
wouldn't
know what I
understand.
mean? They would
Yes,
never understand what we went through to get to where we
yes.
are
And,
today.
and and like you said, I remember knowing the Hendrix. We were going to Japan, and she said,
Hmm.
"You one of those rappers or whatever, DJs?" I said, "Yes." Said, that's not gonna last." And the
Right.
next thing you know, I saw her at the music awards, and she
Yep.
said, "Yo, sorry for saying that to you. This thing is big." But mommy, we did Japan. I never forget. I always like to tell the story. We was
Uh,
in Japan, and it was me, Run DMC, and everybody. So I know, everybody wants the best show out of their group. You're gonna say at the end of the show who kicked ass and who didn't.
uh-huh.
So I knew Run DMC was coming. I got a win that Run told Jam Master Jay, you better cut him up tonight. Man, I told my translator, go get me a dozen of chopsticks. He said, chopsticks? What do you want with that? I said, just go get it. He went and got me chopsticks and I got rubber bands and put them on the end. And I started scratching, vicka, vicka, boom, vicka, vicka, boom, vicka, 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 boom, and threw them in the air. And the Japanese said,
Wow.
Grandmaster!
And that's you, Grandmaster, Grandmaster.
Yeah, that was a
Listen,
blessing.
guys, I'm here with the dopest DJ ever, Grandmaster D. If y'all have any questions while I'm online, while we're here together talking, y'all need to send your questions in so I can ask them, okay? So now
Mhm.
here we go. Number 10. How do you think Whodini's music has impacted and influenced the music industry today?
Oh, it really impact. It was a big impact. Everybody sample our song.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from Nas and Master P, so many Snoop Dogg. It was so many because a lot of people was bopping to our music back then. A lot of
Right.
people, West Coast when they were rocking, Snoop Dogg and them would tell me the story. Man, we was bumping Whodini like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
back
Mm-hmm.
then. So and I look at going on tour with bands and stuff like that back in the days, and they would give you a little small corner while they got all their equipment over here. But 9 times out of 10, we would bust their ass
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
had hit songs. So
Right.
they used to get mad at us, but because we using turntables and we ain't got no band. So
Right.
that gives me a chance. I could play anything I want. But we got
Right.
hit records just like y'all. Can you imagine
Right.
being on tour with Midnight Star, Shalimar Climax, and then you over here with Heat Wave and all these big
With
groups,
a
and
with
I'm
all
like,
this equipment and
yeah, and I'm
musical stuff. Yeah.
looking at them like, yo, y'all my heroes. Man, then
Mm-hmm.
another big thing I wanted to say, and I take my hat off to him, may he rest in peace. Don Cornelius put
Yes.
rap on Soul Train.
Yes, he did.
When
He
I when
sure
he
did.
did that, I said, we made it. We made
Mm-hmm.
it. It's rap on Soul. And Don Cornelius told us right there, he said, I don't really like rap, but I like you guys because we
Mm-hmm.
didn't look like thugs. We
Right.
came in there classy looking.
Yep. With the leather suits and you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. We influenced a lot of people. Even
Yeah.
some of these bands, when they meet me now, I just did a show with One Way. And One
Mm-hmm.
Way was like, man, y'all was it. Y'all was it. And just like with
Mm-hmm.
Cameo, I hear
Mm-hmm.
Cameo, like to me, 5 minutes remind me of Word Up.
Uh-huh.
Those music. So a lot of people try to imitate it, but you can't. You
Never.
can't. Ain't nothing like the original.
Nothing like the original at all. I agree 110%.
Mhm.
So here we go. Number 11. What were some of the biggest challenges Houdini faced as a group and how did you overcome
Biggest challenges was
them?
sometimes dealing with these promoters
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes dealing with the record company.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing was dealing with promoters because a lot of times they would try to shortchange you or you know don't advertise you right or you always ran into something. Well, you
Yes.
get there and you think everything is safe, and then they tell you, I don't got all the money or what. We had to go
Oh
through that.
no. No,
Man,
no,
it was
no.
crazy back then. So, then you wind up getting booking agents.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a blessing because your money was guaranteed.
Got
But
it.
other than that, you be with these record companies and you see who's going to push you and who's not going to just put your record on the shelf,
Right.
and not push it because if you don't push it, it's not going to do nothing. So think about it. What we sold back then, we were the first rap group to sell 1 million albums. So think
Okay.
about if we had internet then. Can you imagine
Yep.
how many records Houdini would have sold?
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
definitely.
and now another different thing is you got to look at how many stars are coming off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Half of these people today would have never made it on American Idol.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay. Where we at? Number 11? Number 12. How has the group's dynamic evolved over the years?
We're just trying to stay above water. The
Mm-hmm.
blessing is that they still play our music,
Right.
old school radio or whatever, and you got satellite radio, thanks to LL Cool J for the
Mm-hmm.
Rock the Bell station. And
Yes.
other than that, we still get a check, which is a
Man,
blessing.
I would love to get LL on the show. That would
Yeah,
be something to get him on with. You know,
yeah,
I got to start somewhere, right?
yeah. You never know. You never know. He might
Right,
see
right,
this.
right. He might see this and say, "Huh, you know what? Let me give old girl a shot." You know.
Yeah.
All right, number 13. What has been the most surprising thing about being in the music industry?
Say that again.
The most surprising thing about being in the music industry.
Oh man, surprising thing is when you first make it and they first put your record out and
Mm-hmm.
you hear it for the first time on the radio. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. Because, a lot of groups come and a lot of groups go. And I can
Right.
give them credit, like Jive Records and really Arista, for really pushing our music
Mm-hmm.
at that time. And so that the surprising thing to me was hearing my record on the radio and
Yes.
just losing my mind, and you walking down the street, or you just coming from the store and you hear dun, 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 and somebody's
You
car
say,
blasting and
yep,
you
yep,
laughing to yourself.
yep,
And
yep,
that's my record right there. Or
yep. I
the
get
other
it.
thing is walking down the street and people recognize me. That's a blessing because you could be easy forgotten.
You're
They
not going to
recognize
ever
me.
be forgotten. First of all, you have the most beautiful eyes ever. So, hey, that's
Yeah.
that dude. They may not remember your name, but they know who you are. That's that DJ from
They
that
say,
group with them,
that the
them
blessing is to hear
eyes.
that. The blessing is to hear them say, appreciate what you've done for hip hop. That's
Exactly.
what I love to hear, you know.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
So, now, are you currently involved in any musical projects,
Uh,
collaborations, or DJ gigs?
Not yet, but we getting ready to work on something right now. I don't want to say nothing yet, but it's coming
I
real
know, I
soon.
know. You said that earlier. Please keep me posted because I want to be a
Yes, I
part of that. I
will.
would
I will.
love to
I
be a
want you
part
to
of
be on
that.
the set when we get ready to do it.
I will be there with my camera in hand, honey. Believe me,
Yes,
and I'll have an interview and I do both. I'm multitask. I'm
definitely.
excited about that. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Number 15. Here we go. Where we at? How do you feel about the state of hip hop today compared to the golden age when Houdini emerged?
How do I feel about that music today? Oh man, I wish
Hmm.
I wish they would stop beefing with one another. Because you think
Yeah.
about it, we lost a lot of rappers behind beef.
Hmm.
And if I really look at it like this, if you're eating and I'm eating, we should both be happy. We
Hmm.
here, we made it.
We
Because
made
really,
it.
to me, I look at everybody adds on to the cipher, but it's what you do
Hmm.
to keep it alive.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And number 16, what do you hope Houdini's legacy would be for the future generations of hip hop?
One of the best rap groups of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And and I cherish this moment every day, and we're just looking forward to becoming one of the members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's what we would love to
That would
get right now.
be that would be dope. That would be really good if that could happen. You see any of
Yes,
that coming in the future? You think it might happen?
we keeping our fingers crossed because a lot of people skip Houdini,
Mm.
and for
They
us to
skipped a
sell the
lot of
first,
good.
yeah,
They skipped
yes,
a lot of
yes.
y'all that are
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
And the other thing I look at just as well as the Grammys when they had the 50 years of hip hop. How could you leave Houdini out? How could you not mention
Exactly.
Houdini? It's no way.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I was a little disappointed about that too.
Yes.
So now here we have a bonus question. For someone just starting out as a DJ today, what advice would you give to them?
Um, Learn your history. Go
Yes.
back. You can't learn off of the music that's out here today. You got to go
Yes.
back to the beginning. You got to go. listen to like Isaac Hayes and Curtis Mayfield, Al Green, Earth, Wind and
Mm-hmm.
Fire, the group
Mm-hmm.
War. You got to go back to the beginning and
Yes.
learn music, and then come. You got to start with that music because in order to get
Mm-hmm.
to the end, you got to have a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what you got to do. You got to really do your homework, and you can't learn it off this music here today, because I really
Mm-hmm.
feel, and I hate to say it, this music today is not gonna last like that. They get like a month run, and then you don't hear it no more.
Nope. And it all sounds the same.
Yes,
It all sounds the same. It's just, but anyway, I just interview people. I got to keep my comments to myself.
yes. Back in the days, it makes you feel good, and it makes
Mm-hmm.
we know what's they might have been wrong about what they're talking about with R. Kelly or whatever. But when you hear
Mm.
that music, it's something that makes you happy. It's
Mm-hmm.
something like happy people and all of that. It's like
Yes, yes.
and the backyard party and all that. He was gifted, but you know, just hate to talk about what happened, but it was
Yeah,
great music. Yeah.
it was. It's still great music. It's just,
Yes.
that crashing down effect and funky beats was life. That's my JP Justice said that crashing down effect and funky beats was life.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Incredible. Thank you, JP.
Listen, yeah, man. I'm interviewing him next week, so he'll be on here.
Okay.
Maybe you want to come listen in on the show next week.
Okay.
Grandmaster D, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
here
you.
and hanging out with me and my people. Um, Hopefully you and I'll get to work together and do some other stuff later on
Yeah,
down the
you never
line.
know.
God
That's
willing,
right.
just keep me in the loop. Like I said, whatever you need, if I'm available, I'm down. I'm down.
Okay. I want to
You
thank
know?
you for having me as your guest, and
Yes,
you
yes.
keep
Thank
doing what
you.
you do, because we need more women like you out there doing what you do to help promote and get the awareness out there for people to view.
Pass the word for
Yes.
Mona Day and Uptown with Mona. Pass the word on. Hey, you know
Yes.
that chick, from Uptown with Mona. You need to get on her
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm
we'll
gonna let
talk.
some
You
other
got my
rappers know.
information. Thank you. I really
Yes.
appreciate that. That's
All
all
right.
I need.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No problem. I'll get
You got
some.
my number. You got my information. I got yours. Let's stay in touch. I really look forward to again working with you. And I'm so grateful and happy that you came on to my show today. And I'm so happy to see you and glad you're well and your family's well. And we're gonna talk
Thank
real
you.
soon. You call me anytime. Give me a holler anytime.
Okay, thank you so much.
All
And
right,
one
baby.
thing before I go, I want to say
Hmm.
keep unity in the community, because without unity, we won't have a community. And let's
Yes.
go, Knicks.
All right, let's go next. Yay. Wow. All
All right, God bless us.
right. Okay, honey. Well, y'all, I want to thank all y'all for coming out, listening in. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Again, please, if you want to donate, Cash App, my Cash App is MSBODE, numbers 125. That's Miss Bode 125. And no donation is too small. If you want to be a sponsor, also give me a holler and we'll work that out also. And I look forward to seeing y'all again next Monday, where my guest will be. It's a secret. I'll tell y'all next week. Y'all will see in a couple of days when I put up the flyer. So y'all have a good night, y'all. And I hope to see y'all next week. Peace. Peace and love. Thank you for listening and hanging out with me at Uptown with Mona. See you next Monday, 7 p.m. Today's show is sponsored by
Come eat with me at Vegan Hood in New York City. I heard that they had the best vegan fried chicken here, so I had to come check it out. For appetizers, we ordered the cheese fries and the Beyond Meat stuffed empanadas. Both were super delicious. And for entrees, of course, we had to try their famous vegan fried chicken and their shrimp fry. I have to say, this is probably the best vegan comfort food I've ever had. The mac and cheese was so tasty, the potato salad was well seasoned and flavorful. I'm telling you, you need to check this place out next time you're in New York. Like and follow for more vegan recs.